Good morning. Happy 23rd of March. I am here just working on some fig stuff. And I was getting to the point where MFO2 is all Star Wars and it is getting stuffed. This side was all collectible minifigures that I'd had in bags. Some of them I have in drawers, and some Star Wars I have in drawers and stuff like that, but a lot of them I'll put in these bags. As for rhyme or reason, generally anything above like $5 I try to put in here, but that's not always guaranteed. So yeah, the Star Wars one was quite full in the 3 slots that I gave, and then the last one was the collectible ones. So I was looking at the other MFO one is still over there, and this is MFO 3, which is superheroes. These two. Ninjago in here, and again, both of those categories have things in drawers that's somewhat loosely defined. But I had, lots of space, and then this center one was empty except for I had my 2 more expensive figs, which are incidentally both Spider-Man, in here to kind of keep them separate from everything. So yes, if you're coming to rob me, here's where you start. And even then, that's not really worth it, robbing. So this was basically empty in this one. So I was like, well, let's just take from here, drop it into this slot, and then give ourselves more room for Star Wars. So the physical movement of that is, not too challenging. It's pretty easy to just let them all up in there. But the software side of things, we decided to see what that would look like. So for here, I basically went to the search, inventory search, and then I could put in my location, and I'd pick by collectible minifigures. It gave me this entire list of unselected figs, and I was able to go through it and just verify, just to make sure for my sake, what was still there. Well, like making sure nothing was there that shouldn't be, anything that was listed in the software that wasn't there. Did come across 2 things that I had either forgotten about or, had a process that died. These 2, both of them are missing something. So she's missing, I think she has a skirt piece and the collar on this one. And I would have, maybe I put them there so that they would be there ready for whenever I got those in for Bricklink or something. But at this point, they've been forgotten and they were doing me no good. So I'm going to put them here, which is the whole build a fig thing that I've talked about in the past, where it was still one's being worked on. But so I was able to select them as I went. Now I haven't done the actual changing in the software, so let's see how that goes. We'll do that together. But there's this bulk edit 26 items. You can change location. You're going to move 26 items. All items from shirt should be moved to the location. You cannot undo this. Hey, buddy, you're just a lump of love. And now they are in MF03 instead of 02. Continue. Update 26 items for you. And this takes me to the, let's say, other interesting thing that I ran into with all of this. So, for instance, it's not done yet. This is now. Refresh. Let's see. If we just search objects. Don't tell me there's no search results. I know there's a search. Let's just do click on my figures. And see, now you can see all the ones that are in other spots. My D&D ones are in a D&D box. I have that old bag I've seen shown now and then, which is the Bricklink bag, because that was what I started with, and there's still some stuff that are in there that I haven't deemed worth the time to take them out of there. Whatever. doesn't matter. All right. What am I looking for? MF02. All right. What about MF03? Aha, good. Okay, so all of these are there. It says artist. I don't know why I didn't find it. So it is now corrected in the system, artist MF3. However, if we go to Bricklink, this threw me off. There's no remark there, which is fine. Because I just added it. What's another one? What's one that we had already in the system? Not a part of your system. We'll go with Evil Wizard. Evil Wizard, autolog, moved from MFO2 to MFO3. Took one out from MFO2 and added one to MFO3. Perfect. So we see in system there. However, we go into Bricklink. There. It still has the old one. What is going on? So I messaged them to try to figure out how long does it take to update. So I waited like 15 minutes on something, and they responded, and this made total sense actually, because one of the aspects of Bricqer is you can, when you sign up, you can sign up for either a. My goodness, you were just so demanding for pets. You can sign up for a consolidated or unconsolidated inventory. I'm sure you can switch that later on. But if you're an unconsolidated, then you can have parts in like drawer 2, drawer 8, drawer for 4,060 of the same part with the same condition, same everything. And the software will know where they're all supposed to be. Well, how do you do that in here? Now, I guess you could have something in the remarks and have, you know, a special character between that Bricqer would identify as being different. But that's not what Bricqer is. Bricqer is a cat that's up in your lap all the time. Bricqer is a inventory system. It's just like a complete inventory system. It manages everything. There are some things it does well and some things it doesn't do as well that you can use BSX files for. Of course, everything I'm finding so far has been working quite well for me. But it's an entire inventory system, so it takes care of those locations for you. So you stop using Bricklink and Brickowl as, you know, pick sources and whatever, and you go with the information that's on Bricqer. They are merely functioning as marketplaces for your parts. Kind of like you don't manage your inventory on eBay. Well, whatever. So that threw me a little bit. Part of that, oh my goodness. Part of that is because Bricklink limits the API calls, so they can't update location and pricing and all this without limitations put on by Bricklink. This cat though. Walk up. Ow. Douglas. He's a lovable, snuggable little guy. So yeah, Bricklink has API limitations. So you can only do so many operations in a given 24-hour period. So as a result, limiting the remarks being pushed back to the software or to Bricklink and Brickowl helps reduce the API calls. That's the long and short of why they don't get pushed back to here. So if you're looking at your Bricklink pages and you're looking at the remarks and you're wondering why they're not updated, that's why. So that, while I don't love that they are going to be different on here as I change locations of parts as I go, I can download a BSX from Bricqer. And so if I decide to leave Bricqer, to not stick with it, I can download that BSX and then I can replace the remarks in Bricklink the way you would replace it normally through Brickstore and all that. So it's something that can be changed if I leave. It's not going to leave my store in complete disarray if I decide to leave Bricqer. It'll be an extra step or two, but it's not, a terrible impossibility. Snuggle. So that is that was something that I ran into. Just giving that information should that be something someone would be bugged by. But like I said, it comes with treating Bricqer as your inventory source, not treating Bricklink as your inventory source, which is a bit of a mindset change from Brick Freedom. Oh, she's sleeping. I won't bug her. Or kind of sleeping. Not really sleeping. She's like, oh my goodness. So much happening. Oh yeah, sure. So yeah, that's it for now. Shell walkers coming along. The scavengers upstairs. Otherwise, I'd show it. But I really dig the Horizon set. Someone was asking on the Discord, on the unofficial Bricklink Discord, what the builds were like, because they looked kind of goofy on the box. And I won't say they aren't slightly goofy, but they're what I said in there is they're the Lego-fied versions of things, and it's all based on Horizon Adventures, which is the Lego game. So like you have the Lego Star Wars game, the Lego Marvel games. They're all Lego-fied versions of the stories. So there's not they take some of the heavier subjects of Star Wars, of Marvel, and they kidify it, if you will. They make it lighter hearted. They make it a little bit goofier as a way to make it something that is more accessible for younger kids and such. So they take all those concepts and, every time you kill someone in one of those games, they turn into bricks and stuff. So similar with here, it's all brick based. It's all meant to be lighthearted and more fun. So the models end up being, slightly, if you will, goofier versions of what they were in, say, Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West. But as far as like scale, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, that's about how big you are compared to the things. You're about as tall as one of those legs are. So I feel like the scale is pretty good. Maybe they could be like 30 to 50% larger. Maybe that's too much, but not too much larger. They could be a tiny bit if you want to be perfect scale, but I mean, for what it is, I think it's pretty awesome. I kind of want to look online and see a comparison between the builds with the actual units here versus the units in the game, Horizon Adventures. I don't know if they're supposed to be spot on or if they're like a variant. But yeah, anyhow, this clip is getting kind of long and ranty. Not really ranty, but long and random. I have baked a loaf, and there's my loaf. Look at that little loaf. I guess it's technically not a loaf because his tail is going off the chair, and for a perfect loaf, you have to have the tail wrapped around. But next up, I'm going to go through the cards. They're kind of a hassle to deal with, but I don't want to like waste the cards or waste the work. So when I sell one, I take the fig out of the bag and I have the bag with the card left, which don't stack well. They don't sort well. So I'm thinking about taking them all out of the bags and then just have the bags separate that I either keep to use for the figs as I sell them or whatever. And then as I get figs to put in the cards, then I put them in the bag. I think it's more or less what Pops does. He stores the cards in a binder and then he'll put them in a bag as he gets the figs for his shop. And that might be the better way to go versus these that I essentially have them in these plastic bags so they can remain as a category. Like this is all Star Wars that are cards of ones that are sold that aren't currently in the store. So then as I got a new one, I can, retrieve the card and put it in there. But when it's with the bag, it just becomes thick and unwieldy. So I'm probably going to change all that over. For now, I will leave you with this lump of love. Oh, you just want those pets. You just want those pets. You just want those pets. All right, happy 24th of May. We have separated out all of the cards. I did that really yesterday, but my kids are down here, and I don't like recording clips when my kids are around. And I've got Ninjago and superheroes here. I've got Star Wars over here, and then everything else is in these. These are not yet categorized by alphabetical order quite yet, so you need to go through and do that. But then I got some of these sheets that supposedly should hold. If I get one out. Yeah, it's hard to tell in the look at this invisible sheet. But these are top loading. They are supposedly, the right size, and then should be fairly well. One hand left-handed is not going to be the way, but easy to get out supposedly. Then let's see the other side. Okay, so there is a pocket on each side, so I don't have to like double up one pocket. They're highly rated, so I figured I'd go ahead and just pick up a bunch of those. Picked up a couple of D-ring binders, and we'll switch my card system over to being like that. So I feel like that'll be a whole lot easier when I'm adding figs. I can go through and see if I've already got the card made for ones that I'm putting in the system. And I think it's going to be way simpler. I think that's a better way to do it. I like that manner of categorization versus using up all of my drawers, even though I am using some drawers for figs. Just using my little, find the right spot, my little minifig bins, I think is a good way to go about this, versus everything in drawers, just because I have limited drawer space. And I can fit more figs in those things categorized than I can in drawers uncategorized, if that makes sense. At least I think I can. Whatever. It's a good solution. I'm going to do it. So there. Otherwise, got the bags ready for the Ninjago Temple part out, the Shadow Wolf Temple or whatever it's called. And I think that's about it for now. My wife brought down our Lego Winter Village because that was still up the stairs on the dining room table. So that gets to be disassembled. I like to take it down and then rebuild it every November or whatever, and kind of have that process of enjoyment. I enjoy building it, so it's fun to put it back together versus just putting it all in a box. We don't have like a big display area for it. We just have like a little shelf on top of a pillar, which sounds weird, but that's where we got. So it's fun to rebuild it every year. There's Cat. I think the other cat went back there. And that's it. And I'm going to watch Severance After Show with lots of actors and put cards and binders.
And ta-da, we are done. So far I only filled up one binder, but I'm going to keep this one around. I'm sure I will need it eventually. This one is basically at a full point. Bottom several pages are all just the blank ones. But once you put cards in there, obviously they'll become thicker by 2 cards each. So eventually I'll need the other one. I'll keep it around. But I'll probably put some tabs on just for like Ninjago, Star Wars, superhero, collectible minifigs. But otherwise, everything's in alphabetical order. I've given myself some empty spots between sections so that as I get other cards, there's places to put it in. Obviously, I can sub in extra pages. That way, there's not too many. So if I take this one out, or I get Adventurers 30 and I need to put it between 27 and 41, these will all shift down eventually. But I can also just tuck some of them on the end of these sections, and it'll be just fine. Then the collectible ones, they take up 2 pages. Then it just carries on with the letters until we get to Ninjago. And again, there's all but 2 on a sheet that are spare space kind of thing. That way I'm not bumping up all the Ninjago right into here. I'm just giving them their own section that I can put a tab on. And even then there's 3 left over for them. And then I got a Pirates up to here. These ones I continued on the S's past SH for superhero and just went ahead and just gave them their own page with a couple gap. And then superhero and Star Wars make up most of the rest of this, with a little bit for Time Twisters, Lego Movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Town, Trolls World Tour, and Ultra Agents. So yeah, that I think works out pretty well. I got the heavy duty binder and the pages that were rated really highly with like 5,000 reviews. So that's all of the cards that I have written down that are not being used for a fig or a incomplete. The incompletes being that section, the area I've mentioned a few times now, where it's a bunch of partials that are missing things. I need to go through that. I say every time I show it on camera, but I need to go through it and either just figure out what I want to keep, what I want to order the parts for, and then just kind of get processing through those rather than just having them sit there all the time. I know some of those are just like a torso and all the parts need to be acquired. Part of it was I was hoping that I found a torso for something in a lot, and then I'd go through the lot and hope I would find other parts, and many times I did not. So a lot of those I just need to pull out of the bag, list the like 2 parts that I do have, and move on. Otherwise, so yeah, that's the cards. That was the big project. So I'm glad to have that done. Obviously, I need to find a home for El Bindero. Destroy my ankle. So I've got this drawer. It basically just serves as like random bags, and I have these guys. I have these on eBay. I've had them on eBay for forever because I don't have the green droid arms for them. Probably just need to pull them off eBay, list the parts, or get the arms. So I'll put that up there. Yeah, there's just like random bags that I've stuffed into here. I don't need this bin anymore, which somehow has lots of bugs. It's amazing how bugs can get just about anywhere and everywhere. An old iPad that I have for sale. It's like first generation Air or something. All the phone cases I tried to sell for my wife like 2 iPhone generations ago. So I'm sure I can go through this drawer, clean it up a bit. There's sandwich baggies, and I have sandwich baggies up here. So for now, all right, but let's make a list. I haven't done a list in a little while. I think it would serve us well to make a to-do list. I'm not going to put a date on it, but it will be a current list of all the things you need to do. All right, obvious one is part out. Put Shadow Wolf. That's the bags there on the ground. So got that. Let's put clean up. I'm going to call it just binder drawer now. Oh no, Lego pen. Don't run out of ink. Wonder if it's that side. Or maybe it's the pen. Finally starting to give up the ghost. I've had this for a while. And unfortunately, I don't think these can really be replaced as far as the ink goes. Maybe they can. I don't know. Cleaned up binder drawer. All right, got a little bit more ink. But ourselves some more time. I'm gonna call these green aliens. Let's these guys here. What achievable goals? I'm gonna put, if you remember from long ago, previous videos, fig session of working on figs. Clean up this thing. Put that. I'm gonna call that it's a bin of some sort. Paper file bin. Just put that. That used to be under the stairs way back in there. I think cats are messing it with it too much. It's stuff for my wife and the piano job that she runs. So I need to stick that somewhere where the cats won't mess with it and get to it. So that's what that is. Oh, the Winter Village. That is the most horrible looking handwriting. But it's really hard to write like on the bottom of the card while holding the card still, because that's usually what the other hand is for. That is currently holding the camera. Winter Village. Good stuff. That's a decent amount of stuff to do already. I mean, let's just put the I'm gonna call it the partial figs. That'll be the ones in that thing that are in their bags. We'll go to this for now. I think it's a solid list. Gives us some things to work on this week. And yeah, I think we can knock out at least some of these. I don't know. You know, green aliens won't take long. Gotta put some gimmies on there. Paper file bin just really requires a moment when I can move this stuff to get into that door. There's some shelves in there that are away from the furnace and water heater, so it won't be a fire hazard. I think that'll be a better place for those. And I'm curious if those papers on top can go inside of something versus being just loose. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's a box back there. That's, I think, that Friends boat set that I have yet to part out. So that's on the list as well. Not literally on the list, it's just on the mid list. It's not there. So yeah, we'll stick with that for the time being.